Hello, everybody. I'm Dorothy Morgan, longtime professional astrologer. Today, I keep messing up. This is about the fifth time I've tried to record this. We're going to talk about the astrology of May 10th, and that's probably one of the reasons why I have to do this a few times and take my time, because I want to get it right. So we're going to talk about Mercury retrograde. It's stationary today. And we also talk about Jupiter, as it is just about ready to enter the sign of Aries. It will do that this evening, I think 7:33 p.m. Eastern, approximately. And then, of course, we'll do the Astro Dice as always, and these cards. And the Eclipse video was posted late last night. So please go and watch that. I'm going to attach it to the end here somewhere. All right, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm already recording. There we go. Here is the chart that I've just picked for today. It's just the noontime chart. No ascendant, no midheaven. We don't talk about houses because everybody's in a different time zone and latitude and longitude. So that is why we don't use it. All right. But I have to choose something. Here's Mercury. 4 degrees, 51 minutes of Gemini. It's stationary today. We're not going to really feel, it doesn't have any movement right now. It's just sort of standing still. And since it does sort of stand still during these stationary days, it could feel, these are the days that it could feel just a little frustrating, just a wee bit. Like I've just had to redo this. Like this is the fifth time I'm trying to record this. And, I'm only 30 minutes away from when this is going to launch. I'll get it done. I'll get it done. But this is not the only time this has ever happened. This happens regularly. It's just not necessarily a good example of Mercury retrograde. I do it all the time. Sometimes I get these done in one clean shot, and lots of times I don't. So if you're feeling a little bit of frustration, if you're feeling like you have to do something a few times today, and even over the next 3 weeks, just lean into it, let it be what it is, allow the information, Mercury, that's coming to you, so you can reconsider things. That's what the retrograde periods truly will represent, reconsidering the information that you're receiving, especially with Mercury in its rulership, Gemini in its own sign, until it backs into Taurus. It goes back to 26 Taurus. And then 3 weeks from now, it will turn around and come back again. So we have these opportunities for it to connect over 3 times over a 9-week period, where we have this opportunity to really integrate and reevaluate information or redo things that need to be redone. All right, repairs and all kinds of great things like that. So really, I have another video out there on Mercury retrograde. I've been talking about it for quite a few days now. So that's that information. Then I want to go right on to, excuse me a sec. I want to go right on to Jupiter at 29 degrees of Pisces. It's been at that degree for quite some time now, hasn't it? Let's take a look. I never did actually look, and I intended to before we started, but you're just going to watch me do it now because I'm not recording this again. It's been at 29 degrees since approximately May 6th. And then, of course, today it will shift into the sign of Aries. So when a planet is at the 29th degree, natally, the individual will have whatever it is overdeveloped. So if you have something at 28 or 29 degrees of Pisces, your sensitivities are overdeveloped. It's just the way you are. This is not a negative. And so during transits, we even have Pluto at 28. That's the final, really close to the final degree as well of the sign it's in. This is a really important time with Jupiter and Pluto, both at either 28 or 29 degrees, which gives us the intensities of the world that we're seeing now. People overreaching power, that's Pluto at 28 Capricorn. It is retrograde, so it's going to go back a little bit, a few degrees before it comes back. But Jupiter connecting to it has been really amplifying what's been going on with Pluto and power and control and struggle, whether we see it globally or you can feel it and see it in your own personal life. Okay. Jupiter at 29 Pisces, that final degree of even of the zodiac, is incredibly sensitive. I mean, haven't you been overly sensitive and you just want to pull away and just retreat and sleep, or get lost in a book, or, binge a TV show, things like that? This is what we're going to be feeling. So natally, if you have something at 28 or 29 degrees, though that planet is in that sign, will be probably overdeveloped. And we have to get to a tipping point. We have to get to an extreme point before we will make and take that shift, make a shift and make a choice and make a change. It's like we just keep dealing with it and dealing with it and dealing with it. All right, whatever that is. I have my Jupiter's at 29, 59 Sag. I know exactly what this is. I wait and wait and wait until finally the universe has to usually give me a kick in the ass to get me going. And that's usually what happens. I have family members that have that too. And, we just hang on and hang on. It's not being stubborn. It's just where with a planet at that sign, at that degree in your own personal chart, it creates that where it just needs to pile on until finally you get to a point where you're willing to take a risk and step into something else. And that is what it feels like energetically for all of us somewhere, wherever we have the very end of the zodiac, because what's next is 0 Aries. And Jupiter shifts to that. I believe it's at 7:33 p.m. Eastern tonight, into 0 Aries. And when it does shift to 0 Aries, that's like the Fool card in Tarot. It's the card, the 0 card. I don't know Tarot well at all. I do know 0 Aries is represented by the Fool card. What does that mean? I am willing to take a risk. So tonight, when Jupiter enters Aries, we will probably feel, most of us, something significant, a significant shift where we're willing to take a risk, willing to take action. Venus was there recently. I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to go grab the chart for Jupiter at 0 Aries. I didn't think to get that. And that's now. And there it is. Here's Jupiter ingress into the sign of Aries. Let me go share that with you. Give me 2 seconds to come back to you. There we are. Yeah, here it is. It is at a different time of night. Yeah, 7:22 p.m. Here it is. And again, this is just my time zone. But find that 0 Aries in your chart. It's always important to know where that cardinal point is, because they are always, all 4 of those cardinal points. The first day of spring, which is 0 Aries. First day of summer, which is 0 Cancer. First day of fall is 0 Libra. First day of winter is 0 Capricorn. So if you have anything at any of the 0 degrees, especially the cardinal signs, the ones I just listed, big significant changes usually happen at the change of the seasons for you. But whenever a planet gets to 0 Aries, Mars will be there in another few weeks. We'll talk about that when that happens. So in essence, what I'm telling you right now is, if you're feeling like things are just piling up and piling up, they are, because we want all of the content, all of the information. But at some point we have to say, whoa, this is too much. I'm feeling too much and I need to take a break and integrate, and do that today. Mercury stationary will slow us down. Integrate, learn, research. Do those things today if you can. I know everybody has lives and jobs and all of those things, and we're not always in control of what all those things are, but you're in control of your approach, your attitude. So work with that too. So when Jupiter gets to Aries later this evening, we got it. We got this. We got this. We were able to start and just initiate new projects. It's that, again, it's that Fool card. So we just will do it because we believe it. I'm that way. My moon's at 0 Capricorn. I know I have a planet 29 and I have a planet 0, and they're right back to back. because Jupiter's retrograde. Of course, the moon only goes forward. And so I get it. So I get to extremes and then I just make a choice and do something. You can do that too. That's what today is all about. All right. Whoo. Eclipse video will be attached to the end of this, and you can go research. And I have a whole folder on Mercury retrograde videos I did with a colleague. Those are fun. Let's get added information now. If you like, I do mentor programs too. If you've been taking a lot of video astrology courses and you're not sure how to pull it all together, it's my specialty. My website. I'll see you check it out. All right. Boom. The moon in the fourth house, the moon in Virgo in the fourth house. So extra special message from spirit, and just an extra message if you have a question. The moon emotional in Virgo, focusing on the details, fourth house, home and family, psychological foundation, family foundation, those, what our family has taught us. So the energy of the moon in Virgo in the fourth house is representative of that, focusing on home and family, potentially focusing on how you feel about the details. And focus is Virgo, and the details are Virgo. So it's very earthy, very grounded. And so today, if you've got your head in the air like a balloon until Jupiter gets into the fiery sign of Aries and Mercury stationary, it just means it's like, if you're feeling confused and you have too many things to do and too many choices, the moon in Virgo in that fourth house represents, let's hone in on just one or two things. All right. Not all the things. We don't have to do all of it at once. I know sometimes we try. And then Jupiter in Pisces over these it's been off and on for a year, and it will come back in later in the year when it retrogrades. I believe that will be in, it goes out into Aries right now, and it retrogrades July 28th at 8 degrees of Aries. And then it retrogrades all the way until November 23rd, back to 28 Pisces. And then it goes forward again. By the time we get to the last day of December, it'll be back in Aries again. I know, back and forth, these planets. So Jupiter's, it does that. Jupiter's going to do that. And just the way it, it happens to be right now in its phase, that it gives us, it leaves a sign, then it comes back in, and then it leaves the sign again. It did that when it was in Aquarius to Pisces too. Cards are next. And if you guys here on YouTube, go ahead, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. There's a lot of you who haven't subscribed. I'm so happy with this. Whoops, my finger's in the way. Share this on your social media too. That'll be wonderful. Talking stick. This one's so Gemini to me. This is so Gemini because it's really important when this card comes up for us to listen. And this is quite appropriate considering Mercury, the planet of communication, in its own sign of Gemini, and it is about talking and information. So what this reminds us is yes, if you have things to say and you need to communicate something with somebody, absolutely, please do. However, it also reminds us to be quiet and listen. So when somebody else is holding the talking stick, or when it's somebody else's turn to talk, listen, don't talk over them. Don't sit there and formulate the answer to their question or your response to their comment until they have finished. It's okay to pause. That's what Mercury retrograde is telling us. It's also what the talking stick is telling us, to honor our own information by honoring other people's information and listening. All right, I'll leave us with that. I got that forecast up. I got the eclipse forecast is up. The blog post is on my website. You will get that in your inbox if you join my newsletter. That content is there too. Or if you're a member of the website, you get notified that I put up a new post. So you're able to see that. I do it a couple times a month, only a couple times a month, because there's just so much. I spend a lot of content doing a lot of content here. So I only have so much energy to do all this stuff. And all right, Thank you, everybody. See you soon. Blessings. Namaste. Find my way out.